I told you guys we were gonna do concealers next. Wasn't lying about that. Let's just go ahead and get into it because I have like so many concealers. I have so many. This actually isn't all of the concealers I own. I have a bunch of concealers at home, but those I'm definitely keeping. They made it home for a reason. This is gonna be hard. Concealers are my loves. They're my babies. I like have such a thing with concealers. Like gun pointed to my head, if I had to pick between concealers and foundations, I would always pick concealer. And I don't know necessarily why, but I would. There's something about concealers. After you pop on concealer, it's like a little bell that makes the bad bitch in you arise. And I'm not crazy about coverage, but for some reason, I love concealers. The first one that I'm going to for sure keep is the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin 24-Hour Concealer. This is a high coverage concealer, but when I tell you this concealer is so bomb, it's so bomb. It's the concealer I'm wearing right now. This concealer is one of those concealer that carries it all on its back. If your foundation is messed up, if your contour is messed up, this is the product that will save your makeup. This comes so clutch. I haven't really spoken about this on my channel because I've used this a lot off camera, but I actually purchased this myself and it's such a good concealer. I'm such a slore for concealers. Anytime new concealers come out, I'm always like the first to get them. I'm telling you, it's like my one vice is concealers and blushes. That video is probably going to be a long one, but I use the shade 2.6. This is one of my perfect winter shades. No, this is my perfect summer shade. I'm definitely gonna have to go buy my winter shade when the time is right, which it's creeping up. You guys saw the crew neck, right? The Urban Decay Naked Stay Concealer, or Stay Naked, or Naked We Stay correcting concealer. This is up to 24-hour wear. This is a crease resistant concealer, which I do believe it's not completely crease free. It's not a MAC Pro long wear. It's not anything like that, but it is good. I'm gonna be keeping this because it's a very brightening concealer and I like to mix this on top of other concealers that are not as brightening, but I like the consistency of. So I actually like to mix this concealer with other concealers. So we're keeping this concealer. This isn't even my shade. I don't even know why I got this, you guys. This is definitely gonna be passed on to a family member. I absolutely don't need this. It is way too dark. The Beauty Blender concealer, I think I'm gonna part with, I'm gonna keep the more yellow one because it's very brightening, again for the same reason. Also, this one has such a beautiful like finish. It's a very bouncy concealer and it really does give your skin like such a nice little, I don't know how to call it, like a filter. I actually really like these concealers for that reason as well. My Believe concealer, I love this concealer, but as you guys can see, dog, it's empty. I'm on my last wands of this. I use the shade Light Beige. It's the one that works for me the best. I'm definitely gonna throw this away because it's empty, guys. It's on its last wind. Honestly, it's torture what I'm doing to this little container. That's the garbage can. Hello? The CoverGirl concealer, this is old. I need to get rid of this. This is just big expired. I need to pass this on. It's a great concealer. I think this is the most slept on concealer at the drugstore. I hear nobody talk about this concealer and it's such a good concealer. This is actually such a dupe to the Shape Tape. Like if you guys are a big fan of the Shape Tape but aren't a big fan of the price, which I totally get, you guys, even when it comes to the wand and the doe foot, straight dupesicles, you guys really need to check it out. The coverage is phenom. If you guys are into really full coverage, I highly recommend this concealer. This one is just so old and dingy, and because it's a doe foot application, I just feel like it's time to part with it, yo. All of my e.l.f. Hydrating Camo concealers I'm keeping. This is one of my favorite formulas of concealers from the drugstore at the moment, especially, and I feel like I'm gonna get such good use out of these coming winter and colder months, because my skin does tend to go with the climate. When it's cold, my skin gets very dry. When it's hot, it produces a lot more oil. So because I know my skin is going to go through a change, I'm going to definitely keep these on deck, because matte concealers on dry skin, it's not a good look, and we're not about to do that. That's torture and I don't want my face to break out. The Beauty Bakery Insta Bake concealer, I think I'm going to keep this one as well. I like the tone, and I just, if I remember correctly, I really like this concealer, so I'm going to keep it. I am so good at letting stuff go. Have you guys noticed? The Elsie concealer, this is such a good concealer and it's one of the most hygienic concealers I think you can buy, because it has that type of dispenser that you're not overly put the doe foot and literally touch it to your skin and put it back into the product, you know what I'm saying? Like, yes, I love a good doe foot applicator, but at the same time, guys, I know the hygiene isn't really all the way there. The only reason I'm gonna part with this is because there's basically none left in here and it's super old, but I probably will repurchase this, guys. It's such a good concealer. Elsie Cosmetics is owned by one of the sweetest people on the planet. Well, I don't know her personally, but she just seems like one of the sweetest people on the planet. I follow her on Instagram. I kind of do be stalking her. I'm gonna keep both JOA concealers. I don't know what it is about JOA, guys. They kind of kill it when it comes to their face stuff. Not so much their eye stuff. Like their mascara wasn't great, their eyeshadows weren't really up to snuff, the brush, the bronzer, all that topical-ish wasn't really something that I was impressed by, but their actual face products, like their concealers and their foundation and their powder, so good. And they got tones right, and they're at CVS, so get your extra rewards, get it on and popping with these. These are super good. They have a really nice like watery consistency, which is very lightweight, but it really just blends easily into the skin. I really enjoy them. The Wet n Wild Photo Focus, same thing as the other concealers that I've thrown away. It's empty. There's nothing in here, and if there is, it's super old. Probably shouldn't be touching my face with this anyway, but boy, does this concealer bring me back. This is one of the first concealers from the drugstore that I was like, where's the clout at? Where's the Instagram fame at? Where's the YouTube virality of when it comes to this product? This is such a good concealer. The one downside is you don't get a lot, but I guess the good thing is that it's so cheap. You can find a container of these for $3. I'm not even joking. They have a really good shade selection, and the finish is the prettiest soft matte finish. I've said this before, I'm pretty sure, but this is a dupe to the Yves Saint Laurent concealer. This is the Yves Saint Laurent All Hours concealer. This is probably the bougiest concealer I own, but the only reason this tops this is because the Yves Saint Laurent one does wear a little bit longer than the Wet n Wild one, but the finish is almost identical. It's just that this does start breaking up, especially on my skin, because I do have oily skin. It does be breaking up prematurely. It does that whole thing where it like leaves you on red and then it comes back at you and it's like, hey, it's over. Like when this starts breaking up, it starts breaking up and it's done for. But this has a little bit more of a longevity, but both make you happy in the moment. I'm in such a toxic relationship with makeup. The She Glam Shein concealer. This is actually not a bad concealer, but I'm probably gonna pass this on to my nieces. They just love playing with makeup, and this is perfect play makeup, guys. There's no way I'm gonna get through the concealers I already own, so might as well literally just pass on the wealth. That's another stack, by the way. Why didn't I just segue into these like a normal person? So the Yves Saint Laurent All Hours concealers. I'm keeping these. The Doll Face concealer. This is a nice concealer, but when I tell you messiest dispenser on the planet, and crease central. While they have nice tones, and I think you can work with it if you just like set it fast with powder, it can crease so badly if you don't, and it's honestly just not worth the anxiety. It's not worth the pain. I wouldn't go through it. I'm not about to put you through it. It's just not worth it. The Fenty concealer, staying, love it. I love this concealer. Also, this is like the one concealer that's like really matching me right now because we are so brown, because the sun is so out and this melanin is so strong. The Collab concealer, I'm probably gonna give this one away, or do I keep it? Honestly, I'm not sure. It's a good concealer, but like, I don't know if it's like worth the keep. Is it worth the space in the Alex 9? Which is very cluttered at the moment. We're gonna go with maybe. Promised myself there wasn't gonna be a maybe pile. Oops. The Florence concealer, I'm definitely gonna pass on to my nieces. They're young. They got that young baby skin, which Florence by Mills was actually going for. Not these 26-year-old under eye bags. We're definitely passing this one on. Another concealer by Shein. Jordan, not Pippin. I am Jordan always. All three of my Milani Conceal and Perfects, I'm gonna keep all three of these. They all kind of work in conjunction with each other. The shade Natural Sand 150 is what I use to bronze with. I'm definitely keeping this one. And medium beige is my summer? Yes. Light natural is my winter. And winter's coming up, so we're keeping all you hoes. And that concludes this, guys. I can't believe we went through that whole thing. How many did I keep? 14. Not bad. Still an excessive amount, for sure, but this also is my job. And I love concealers, and I like the packaging and other excuses hoarders like to say. We're good with this. We're good with this, right? Like, we're good. Like, this is fine. I don't have a problem. You are the one with the problem. Honestly, society, okay? I'm a collector.